Alley-oop.
Egal was so geschieht, schön, dass es dich gibt. Ja, du bleibst, ja,
Found them. Had some trouble.
denn alles ist smooth, slow, relax, perfekt, genau so.
Countdown initiated.
Cipher to all stations. I have a signal. Our blackmailer is headed east.
Leon, this is Sova. Confirm you have target visual.
Yep, got him.
Ground team, collapse and converge on Sector 4.
May be able to bring this back to a 2-on-1. He will. Connection from Panic and another to finish.
Not a bad choice, is it? He's cleared out long, now knows where the offensive is going to come from. Two-line up, RDW. You get the sense that this is going to be a real back and forth game. So stop, the punt has gone deep.
Snow getting on the defuse, Panic on the protection squad. And he gets both of them through the smoke as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's a beautiful day here in Australia, and I am pumped for some VALORANT Oceania Tour Osh Champs action. I'm Mac. This is Mitch, also known as Pillars Clownski. He took his nose away, but look, he'll save that for later in case he has any funny takes, or he can just put it on right now. Mitch, how you feeling going into this beautiful Saturday afternoon?
I'm feeling fantastic. The sun's finally come out, so what a good way to celebrate than sit inside, cast and play Valorant and find out who's going to be making it in towards that grand final to try to have a crack at Bobo for that LCQ spot.
Ain't that just it, right? Look, I got my vitamin D earlier, and I'm ready to get my vitamin V with a little bit of Val here, of course. Now, look, we've had a lot. We've had a lot going on so far, and if you don't know what's happened, fortunately, we have a tournament explainer for you guys to fill you in on all the details.
Welcome to the 2022 VALORANT Oceania Tour, a year-long tournament circuit where the best players from Oceania battle it out for cash prizes, a place at the APAC playoffs with a chance to qualify for VALORANT Masters, and a shot at the global title. Teams can compete in up to 2 stages, consisting of open qualifiers, a regional group stage, and playoffs, each with their own AUD $25,000 prize pool. By placing high enough, they'll accumulate championship points to be one of the top teams fighting for a shot at the OCE Championship and a $30,000 prize pool. Those top teams go on to the APAC Last Chance qualifier, with the winning team invited to the VALORANT Champions, where the world's greatest compete to be named 2022's Global Champions, winning an as yet undisclosed prize pool and true gaming glory. For more information, head to LetsPlay.Live /2022 VOT.
And if you didn't know, now you do know. So hopefully that filled you guys in. And look, it's not just a shot at Masters that these teams are playing for. They're also playing for that cold hard cash as well. So plenty of money on the line. A few teams already getting sent home. So, you know, 1,500 for those first 2 teams that have gone 4th place. Yesterday we saw a couple of those. So they've gone home with 3K. And look, 3rd place, we're going to crown that one today in this lower bracket game. 2nd place, of course, 8K. And 1st place, $11,000 dues, Mitch. That's a lot of hard cash.
Yeah, 100%. And they get to go over to the LCQ and get to duke it out against some of the best teams in Asia for a spot to go over towards Masters if they can grab it. Obviously, It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for whoever we send over there because the SEA region pretty hotly competitive at the moment. So look, it's going to be, regardless, some invaluable experience for one of these Oceanic teams, and it might be one of the last times that one of our O's teams gets a crack at going and competing overseas for a little while.
Very true. Of course, all that franchisey business going on next year. So maybe it certainly will be. But look, let's have a look at what's gone on in terms of the game so far. We'll recap this bracket. Have a look up top. You got Order and Fun Crew. That first game you all saw with a big upset happening. Look, we got that rematch happening later on today. Or well, I guess later on today is in like literally 5 minutes or so. Bobo and Rain. Of course, Bobo took that dub. You see that upper bracket match, which we casted last night. Bobo took the 2-0 win over Fun Crew and booked their ticket straight to the granny. Fun Crew now down in this lower bracket. You can see Rain, of course, getting knocked out yesterday by Order in that lower bracket match, and Order still making this lower bracket run. Getting revenge today against Fun Crew would taste pretty damn sweet, but of course that grand final will be on tomorrow as well. Big best of 5, Bobo versus one of the teams that takes the dub today.
100%. They've got like this very slight veto advantage, no map advantage or anything like that. So hopefully we'll see a whole best of 5. We'll get to see, the full breadth of the map pool between whichever teams end up duking it out. But at least for today, we're focusing on that rematch storyline from that first game in the upper bracket. We're focusing on that revenge storyline. Order sent into the lower bracket a little bit earlier than maybe they would have expected. I think Fun Crew maybe not as competitive as against Bobo as they might have wanted to be in their upper bracket games. So a couple of things to look towards as we head in towards this final lower bracket game.
Well, let's have a look at Fun Crew a little bit more in depth before we talk about Order as well. So Easy, Freshest, Andy, Lou, and Norson. Yesterday, it felt like the cogs weren't turning as well as they were in that first game we saw against Order, but maybe it's just their opponents. Now their lives are on the line. Now the pressure's extra high. So there's definitely a shot today, Mitch.
Yes, we got Easy and Freshest coming through from several cores of teams that were playing in like 2020 and 2021. These guys go way back into several couple of top teams, like things like Bliss and things like that. Andy coming up in a couple of mixed teams over the last few seasons, done pretty well for himself statistically last season. Lou did quite well the last 2 seasons statistically as well, and he's again right up there in terms of the statistics for this tournament. And Norson obviously being a player that's come from several top teams, several top lineups like Mind Freak and teams like that, who have played at this top level many times. He's played against Order many times in the past, and he's going to have to do it again today. He had a great series on that controller role. I think he was like plus 19. I think he was the standout player for the whole series in that initial upper bracket game. So I definitely got my eyes on him going into this game.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot from them over the last couple of days. Now, speaking of a lot, we've seen Order pretty much every single day because they did get sent to that lower bracket, and they are making that dream comeback happen. We saw Bonkers do it earlier in the year, but Order are looking to do it themselves right through the lower bracket, already taken down Bonkers, already taken down Rain, and now Fun Crew stand in their way before the grand final tomorrow. Do you think that they can get revenge today, Mitch?
I think so, yeah. I think they're obviously the favourite team. It's an interesting storyline that you mentioned, because if you compare that to last season they barely had to play any maps. They played something like 20 maps, or maybe even less than 20 maps throughout that whole season's run in the last stage to make it overseas. They had a couple of teams even forfeit against them or forfeit single maps. So they've really been put through their paces this time here in the OCE Championship. Like you said, having to grind all their way through the lower bracket, but they are still the favorites for the whole tournament, even if Bobo's looking in some hot form right now. And I think you would be surprised to see them go down to Fun Crew twice in a row before, maybe not quite comfortable with some of their roles, maybe not quite waking up. Now with their lives on the line outside of maybe that Bonkers game, it's looked like Order's gone from strength to strength. Their series yesterday was much more convincing than their first 2 series in this competition.
Now we've got 2 big names to have a quick look at head-to-head before we jump on into the map discussion. That, of course, is going to be your boy Lou up against Ronsky, I believe. So Lou and Ronsky, 2 big fraggers, Mitch. And why have you decided to look at these 2 stunners?
I think you just can't go past them in terms of consistency and impact that these players have had. There is some role overlap as well. I think, Lou is mostly going to be playing Chamber. Ronsky definitely plays Chamber on a couple of maps, but they swap things around a little bit more. Lou definitely can play Jet, similar to Ronsky, but I haven't seen Lou flex as much in the agent pool. Regardless, though, the last couple of seasons of VOT, both of these players have been right up at the top of the stats. I think Lou, the last 2 seasons, has been top 10 in terms of the stats. Ronsky, for something like the last 5 seasons might have been either the top stat player or in the top 3 of stat players, which is why he's one of the most exciting players from our region, the player that everyone hypes up, the player that everyone looks towards to have big fragging impact. If you look at this stage, yeah, there hasn't been that many games so far. We're getting towards the tail end of the competition, though, so there's not going to be that many more rounds to pull stats from. Both of these guys are neck and neck in terms of the stats. They're 3rd and 4th consecutively over the whole tournament, so they're right up there with each other. The fragging output, the consistency is all there, and they're definitely going to be the players to keep your eye on in terms of having those big rounds and just putting up numbers for their squads.
I just had a peek at that as well, and I'm surprised how much further ahead Dragon is right now than everyone else.
And it's not just ACS. It's like every statistic, like first kills, least first deaths, like clutch percentage, like literally in every category, Dragon is absolutely destroying this tournament. So really keen to watch him in the grand final, but you have to wait one more series for that.
We certainly do. Now, speaking of this series, let's look at which maps we're going to be jumping on for the only series today. Of course, it is just the one best of 3. We're not going to make the winning team play 2 back-to-back going into a best of 5. So, look, we're going to see Order pick up Breeze as that first map. Fun Crew picking up Icebox, and Ascent will be that 3rd remaining map. Now, having a look at this, is it very similar to what we saw from the 2 teams the other day?
No, so it's completely different veto, which is, you see the teams sort of jostle for position and change up the ordering of the maps. Haven was the decider where Fun Crew were able to beat Order last time. That's been bound out first. Fracture was the second map where Order kind of destroyed Fun Crew and exposed them a little bit in terms of the depth of their map pool. Fun Crew's chosen to ban that. So the first 2 bans are actually maps that were played in the last series, and we've ended up with the first 2 picks, Order going towards their Breeze. I think a lot of people have been respect banning Breeze against Order for the longest time because it really does suit their style. Having you can run Chamber Jet, you're able to have those aim duels that you're taking. You're able to have that lurk potential that a lot of these players definitely do have at finding gaps in the defense. So Breeze is obviously a map that suits Order very well. Fun Crew going towards Icebox. It's actually the map that they upset Order on last season, and it's a map that they played a fair bit of, but Order are definitely no strangers to Icebox. And then we finished things off with Ascent, which was actually Order's pick at the start of the last series and went in OT to Fun Crew. That was a very, very tight game, 17-15 towards Fun Crew. It really could have gone either way. So if it makes it to 3 maps, I would expect nothing different. Past just the changes up in the veto, we obviously also need to keep an eye on whether either one of these teams is going to change up their agent comps or anything like that. We also even have some more further smaller adjustments, but at least until we get onto that 3rd map of Ascent, we're going to have less of the small adjustments in terms of playing the same map pool over, and instead these teams are kind of angling and trying to get a better chance at winning this series by starting it off with 2 different maps compared to last time.
Well, look, that Ascent is definitely one I want to see as that 3rd map. So if we go all the way to 3, if we can get a repeat of what happened the other day with that quad OT, I reckon it'd be absolutely stellar. Now, look, jumping on into Agent Select, it's time to see what agents both these teams are going to choose. Are we going to see something similar to what they usually pick, or is there something creative coming through here, Mitch?
Well, that's a good question. Let me just bring up the stats because I'm poorly prepared. Look, last time that Order played this, Chamber, Jet, Viper, Sova, KO, exact same agent comp for them. I love this agent comp. I really think it screams Order. If you're putting both RDW and Ronsky on those agents where they can pick up and off and where they can have the impact, then I think they're going to be having a great time of things. As for Fun Crew, I mean, I'll double check once we load into the game, but they really haven't played a game of Breeze in the last 3 months, and they haven't played a game of Breeze with this last lineup. Do have some of that same potential though that Order does have. If you're chucking Andy on like a fragging agent, something like a Jet, you're chucking Lou on a Chamber, they can definitely make use of that double op and make use of those lurk timings as well. So we'll see how Fun Crew go. It's been a while since a team I wouldn't say ballsy enough, but I guess just leaving Breeze in the veto and willing to play Order on Breeze, because I've heard from a lot of people that most people do not want to play Order on Breeze, and a lot of the time it is first man against.
That's very true indeed. Now, look, we love talking about this, but I also love Samsung, so I need to read this out for you. Samsung Odyssey Neo G9 offers world-class performance with a 240 Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond response time, G-Sync compatible, and AMD FreeSync TM Premium Pro. Unleash your inner champion with Samsung Odyssey gaming monitors. So
got
please,
Samsung.
go buy yourself some of those. Now, Mitch, what's about to happen here in Pistol?
Well, we got a mirror matchup in terms of the agent lineups, and Fun Crew going to kick things off on the attacking side. Andy walking up elbow. A lot of players over here, though. Swinging off Disco's contact will be Maple straight out of that heaven position. But look at this Halls control in from Fun Crew in the meanwhile.
Timing on the peak. It looked like it was coordinated, but Disco a little bit further around. Dink comes through onto Andy, but he will survive on 24 now. Things slowing down again, but Order still pushing the point straight around elbow here. You do have RDW happily facing Disco as well. Looking to just go in pairs and make this that much more unachievable for Fun Crew. Sharp shot from RDW, and he wants some more as well. Tag onto Freshest, and he'll follow through. Numbers, they're happy with it. Disco going to be left for dead, but he'll fight for his right to survive, and Norson chunked within an inch of his life.
Spacing just not good enough for Fun Crew there. 5-on-4 advantage, but the spacing is what lets them down, Mac. And now you can see Order further pushing the issue. Aggression through the flank, aggression through elbow. Order just hammering this man disadvantage situation. They've been able to turn around, and they win themselves the pistol after losing that first pick.
Great snakebite coming through from Texter just to lock down the second last kill, and then strength in numbers was enough to get the round over the line as well. Easy made it a little scary there with 2 quick kills. And having a look, it doesn't seem like Fun Crew are going to be going for any force buy into the second.
Seen a couple of cheeky force buys in the past on this map.
Yeah.
A few marshals and marshal forces and things like that.
Ooh, hang on, Andy.
Yeah, he's just buying up a marshal, seeing if he can have some impact. That with the still 6 in the headhunter for loot. Gonna see if they can take some guns away from Order if possible.
There it is, Ronsky connects with a marshal of his own. So straight on the line, Precious wants to try to recycle that weapon if possible. Picks up one with the classic. Now things get that little bit more awkward. Easy, jump in with a bolt around the corner, cost him his life. Precious as well, still hunting for an answer, and he's been chunked down to 30. But still a chance with a one-man disadvantage.
There's definitely some low order players on this A side. Like the damage has been done. Norson trying to read the rotations here, able to walk into the B site for free if he's going to risk it, and he's straight on in there. This is where this rotation might come through spawn, but exactly right. Maple's just made that mid-round push straight down middle with Texter. Round getting very, very messy at this point, but with the spike dropped, I mean, I would say it's just down to damage at this point for Fun Crew. If Norson or Lou can find a timing, take maybe one more gun off Order, then they're going to be happy with that.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, look how low a couple of the members are. So I don't want to write off Fun Crew, but again, 30 seconds to retrieve that spike. Very deep behind A main, by the way, makes it that much more unachievable. Ronsky on 9 HP strikes another. Norson gone, and it's all down to Lou. He's got 6 in the clip here with the headhunter.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to find a timing over towards mid doors, but at the same time, look at this position coming through from Order. They are just unstoppable, and with 13 on the clock, there's no time to plant for Lou. He might be able to get the rendezvous, but they're going to try to kill him in the final.
They're going to let him survive. They're going to let him live so that he doesn't get money.
There you go.
So he's only going to have Marshall and Headhunter heading into that next round. Order just letting him live. Maple not taking the shot. Could have got himself a freebie if he wanted to, but now he's going to have 2.8 heading into that next round. That's not going to be enough to get a Vandal, and he's only going to be able to run Marshall and Headhunter into this next.
So Order playing the long game with that one. Trigger Discipline coming through. And of course, someone's called to let him live. So they'll do just that.
So bonus in here from Order. RDW purchasing up the Operator, though. Trying to give them a little bit more bang for their buck and maybe have some impact here. And he's going to be trying to posture over towards that elbow position, supported by those 2 initiators. Ronsky and Texter responsible for this A site, where it looks like the majority of the pressure is going to be coming in. Fun Crew trying to take A main control, trying to work halls. Taking their time. Yeah, they've gone and just taken full mid control. They're going to be playing retake on that A site, allowing probably that spike to go down and looking for some damage and looking for to play the long game and try to go for that retake up through middle.
Lou opening the door. There's the sound cue. Order starting to approach.
Keep an eye on
doors as well.
Keep an eye on RDW if he jumps up on towards that bricks position with the op, or maybe Ronsky, but they're actually not going for that. In comes the retake though, Max. Snake bites and shock darts flying on in.
Big chunk of damage coming through, but Andy stops the push from doors for 2, and Ronsky here, he'll fall as well. RDW finally strikes, but is it going to be that little too late? Operator in hand, it's very expensive. Now the knife as well, just to force Order back, slow him down from this push through CT.
Yeah, I don't think you go for this if you're RDW, really just looking for exits at this point. He was a main man who just invested so much in this round. Fun Crew holding tight though. You don't want to be giving up extra guns in this round. If you can win this first anti-bonus with 4 guns up, you're going to be super happy with that. Especially because Andy is one off the knives here. Oh, he really wanted to go for the knives, but loses his life as a result. RDW with another exit from that elbow position. And now Fun Crew, a round that was looking really convincing from them. They've unfortunately lost a handful more guns than they may have bargained for.
And the worst part is, you know, the general spacing on those exits means there was no chance for trades to come through at all. So
yeah, they'll
Order
stop you,
doing
right?
real good at least suffocating that economy slightly.
Yep, playing the long game, exactly like you mentioned. Andy now though, like I said, even if he dies there, he gets jet knives. So that's going to help them min-max the economy. He's going to be able to drop a Vandals over to one of the other boys. And in general, Fun Crew with about 2k plus across the board. They've got that Hunter's Fury ready to go. RDW, he's got the Operator yet again, and if he gets just 1 kill or dies this round, he's going to be able to go for the 2 next round. But Fun Crew changing things up. Contact plays straight into B. Well, not contact, maybe off the drone. Bit of an execute. Gonna throw out that Viper Wall, KO knife, and just try to explode into the side off of Andy's dash.
Cloud burst there as well for the extra cover on that dash, and Andy's just clearing out all the nooks and crannies possible. You can see Texter happy just to play the broken wall and wait for that Viper Wall to disappear. Wait for the gas to have to be refreshed.
Yeah.
Ronsky over the top here from Tube is just looking to stop that cross to sight. But again, the wall goes up to enable the 4th player on for Fun Crew. Ronsky feeling it though by 3 quick ones and might have just won the round single-handedly. On for the ace as well, and he wants it. He knows he's coming in from above, but Texter's stolen it. The sneaky bugger. Ronsky going to be roasting him in voice comms, but at the same time, 4 kills. You can't complain about that.
Yeah, Fun Crew, they're looking a little bit disjointed at the moment. You know, you're seeing it in certain aspects of their gameplay. That pistol where they're up 5v4 and they're kind of bumbling into each other at elbow. That last round as well, where the exits were a little bit disjointed. They're getting picked off, losing extra guns. And that round in particular, I mean, they were waiting for that second gas cycle, but it just felt like they were all in the back of the site, not really peeking, not really stopping Order from taking any map control, from rolling on in and taking those duels. There was no real trade potential. Fun Crew need to make sure they're going to wake up a little bit. They're going to kick off this mid to A split with the half buy, and we'll see if they can find some success.
Disco on a sharp line here over towards one of the pyramids, but it's going to be answered with 2 real damn quick. RDW has to get the Operator in hand, and he will for the second. Looking for the third, looking to punish anyone overstepping their boundaries towards the back of sight, and he'll do just that. 3 for him, and a 4th on the board for Order nice and early.
Yeah, it's looking good for them. Starting to stabilize that economy. 3 guns up. Fun Crew now on the reinvestment. 1 off the Viper's pit. If they can try to get that KO rolling for themselves and get Norson onto the site for a plant, that could be a an after plant with the pit up. Very favorable scenario if you're on that attacking side. See how Order roll with this though. Their money's so good that they probably don't need to pop knives or 2 of the 4s at this point. Can maybe think about kind of weaving those in over the next few rounds. Looks like aggression into B main for RDW, looking for that opening pick. Andy just makes it into elbow, but he's hurt.
RDW deciding to stay passive with it. Rendezvous back to a deeper position on the B site. The rest of this util starting to come through now.
Deep info line for Ronsky. He's got so much info, so much control over here. Opening frag from Lou though. Entry into the B site means that Maple can't use any of that util for the retake.
And all up on top as well, so Andy really looking to tear up
Spike planted
and dominate some of this early map control. Jumping across though, RDW plucks easy out of midair.
Hell of a shot.
And now in a 3-on-4, Fun Crew almost lose another. Norson on 5 HP, should be traded by Disco here. He will, great patience, but still a man down for Order. Oh, the pre-fire from Disco on the common line. Almost nets another, but it looks like they may just be after financial damage. Flashing through, looking to go forward here. Andy, close range, not going to be cleared initially. It's an easy pick for him. RDW dancing around at Broken Wall, has many numbers to get past. Lou finds him with the wall bank, and it's a 2nd on the board on the attack for Fun Crew.
And Andy picks up the Operator as well. Andy getting warmed up in this game is going to be big for Fun Crew. Really embracing that entry jet roll, taking some lines, taking some little timings to push through the map and find timings where he can get entries, not necessarily just dashing straight into the side, but that round going up through the elbow side and having impact there.
Yeah.
You saw him a little uncomfortable on the Sage in the last series yesterday, but back on a Duelist, back on a Jet, he's straight up the top of the board. It's going to be
There's a little bit more presence over towards the tube now.
Yeah, there's going to be Jet Knives and two around. Order trying to min-max their economy. That is obviously the power of having Jet Chamber. So you can have those free guns every couple of rounds. Andy, if he finds this opening pick, could be massive. But Lou, in the meanwhile, has picked Ronsky on mid doors. And this is where, like you saw in the pistol, Fun Crew were a little bit too disjointed. They couldn't close this man advantage. They need to make sure this is a clean round for him.
Oh, and RDW goes for a blind shot through the smokes. Drone just barely spotted him before it's ended. They heard Andy run in, but unfortunately for Maple, he couldn't win the one-on-one. Fwesher steals the flank on Texter, and just like that, the boots are on. They're sprinting back towards the A side of the map, but look at this position for Disco. He's flashed off the line, so the cross is safe now for Fun Crew, but it's still this 2-on-2.
Have that cover. No more smokes for either one of these teams. RDW rotating in through spawn side. Flash out from Fwesher as Lou starts to work his way through tube. There is a trip in the backside of tube, so he's not going to be able to progress any further. Maybe Fwesher is just going to cut sound for a little bit, make them think that maybe it's a rotation back around towards B side. You can see Disco worried about doors as RDW inching closer from yellow, but he's ready for that door getting opened, and he's even able to snap around onto Fwesher in towards the pyramids. He is having a hell of a game here, RDW. 10-3 on the chamber.
Big performance. Plenty of shots with the ult, plenty of shots already with the ult, which I believe he's had up twice now. So really just farming those ult points real early, helping out the economy as, you know, Chamber generally does.
Yeah, I mean, this is Fun Crew's chance to abuse that. They're going to take attack timeout, have a bit of a chat about how they want to approach this round. This will be a buy round because they have Jet Knives, they have Tour de Force online.
Yeah.
They also have that Hunter's Fury and the Pit. On these attacking sides, you really want to make sure you're getting value every time you've got that Pit. If you can get yourself into a situation where you can just get that after plant with the Pit up, definitely helps you out in terms of closing a lot more of those after plants, particularly, you know, you're versing Jet Chamber.
Yeah.
You know, it's very clear Order loves this double op style, loves just walking around looking for the picks. If you can just simplify the round down, you know, a lot of the time in TAC FPS games like CS, when you're versing double AWP, you want to just go for a quick exi and force them into a post plant where they have to retake. But Viper Pit is kind of the Valorant version of that, I feel, where you just go take a site real quick off your util, bit of a side exit, straight into the pit, and that can be a bit of a nightmare to retake with double AWP.
Looks like Fun Crew going to put a bit more presence towards mid this time. We'll see how Disco deals with this because he seems to be interested, making his move through mid doors. Knife about to come through and suppress RDW too. He's still got that op to play with. Okay, Knife doesn't quite connect. They seem to be aware of Lou's position. Very wide out mid, and you'll catch the timing with the Tour de Force.
That's a big, big impact entry. Andy anticipating this player peeking in through Sniper's side. Drone it to be there from Easy, trying to find if there's anyone anchoring on that side, but you can see from Order's setup, they Viper pitted into A, now starting to flank mid. Precious checks that, he sees that cloud burst on top of the trip, well aware that that A flank was a possibility, and Fun Crew are not making the same mistakes as earlier rounds back, where they fell apart in the man advantage. They're now starting to hold down those flanks. They're starting to adapt to Order's playstyle of just flanking and no respecting. In all those mid-round pushes, at least for this round, have been punished, and Fun Crew is so far ahead now.
Viper's wall straight across A. They're going to find that for free. And look, now they know at least where Maple's standing. Do they expect Disco here as well? Darts there to clear out the close angles. Andy misses the shot and can't pull out the knives in time. So a 2-on-4.
Planted.
Surely can't drop this one. I don't think you want to be investing the pit, though. They've already got the ball across the backside of the A site. Lou is just not missing now that he's got that Tour de Force online, and don't think they're going to be able to mix an operator in there. But great thing about these kind of rounds where you do have the jet knives and the chamber op is just the fact that you can pick up additional rifles. May pull a little bit of movement there, be hopping across mid to try to hold on to that operator for RDW. Let's see if Fun Crew is going to be able to let him save it.
He's in a bit of a predicament as to the angles he can go.
Yeah, no one's really hard hunting though, because Fun Crew's money is not great either. They can't afford to throw away extra guns here themselves.
Yeah. Norson thinking about it. Might spot him at the last second, but again, Maple here with the op. Will the peak come through? It will. It's slow, and Norson falls. So more damage done to Fun Crew's economy, but they will get that sweet, sweet third round.
A gift.
Precious one off his KO ult. And Norson, again, he's been holding on to this pit for a while. I'm waiting for the round where he deems it necessary to be used, but this could be a bit of a difficult round for it. You do have that KO ult from Order as well as the Hunter's Fury. These are great tools to be able to flush the Viper out of that post-plant pit.
That's not ready.
Money starting to get shaky for Order here. This could be a reset round for Fun Crew and Order, really. This could be a big swing round. Fun Crew needs this round, and Lou, that's the second time he's opening dueled RDW and won it. Massive, massive impact from this man in the last couple of rounds.
And this time just with that Vandal as well.
100%.
Domes him straight away. Maple now just hunting for any info that Order can get aggressive off. They need to make a move here to try to get back into the round, but Fun Crew ready and waiting. Andy swings alone, and it's going to cost them that numbers advantage. Order falls though. Disco down to Norson. We are going to see Fun Crew start to make their move in towards B.
Crossing without that wall coming in from Norson just yet. Still has it available. They're just taking the duels with the snipers. They don't care, but that might be a mistake against Ronski. We need to get these smokes up ASAP, but Norson getting pressured in from Texter. I think he's hurt him.
Close knife as well. Hasn't spotted out his position, but Lou ready to trade. So swinging at the back wall just in time. Norson quite low. Texter in a crossfire. Had to hit some quick 180s, but he couldn't hit the shot. And Norson will secure a fourth with the final kill.
Really starting to build up their money now, Fun Crew. And that forces Order's money completely in the bin. They're back down on the eco. They're back down on the half bar. Here is a great opportunity for Fun Crew to start cracking in there with some rounds. I think we've seen a bit of a double-edged sword kind of situation from Andy these last couple of rounds. They're finding these man advantages courtesy of loot. And I'm getting a little worried sometimes where Fun Crew are aggressing in certain positions alone, taking those 1v1s.
Scanning ahead.
But at least for that round, they're able to cause the Order will go back towards that B site. All of that utility towards middle is a massive tell that Order wants to push straight down. Hunter's Fury getting dodged out, but great readjustment onto Precious.
Down mid.
And just to get that trade as Norson swings wide to find Texter there too. So Order getting some value out of those ults nice and early and really prioritizing this mid control. Big flash allows Disco to get on the line. Maybe overstepping here, but Order all fighting together. They want these guns. They want this map control as best as they can. And Disco's found another RDW with the Headhunter, and it's all down to Lou in a 1-on-4. He's lurked in on the flank here and at least found one. But now there's guns in the hands of Order. And Lou, he doesn't care. He's going to keep going forward, able to find a line over the top. Maybe Sheriff, not going to be enough, but Maple with Vandal in hand trades. And there you go. Order hit Fun Crew with a thrifty.
Yeah, look, at least Fun Crew's been responsible enough with their money to where that's not going to reset them or anything, but that's a bit of a missed opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Wanted to see them even things up 5 apiece with a strong economy and really try to fight for the winning half on the attacking side of Pre-Seer. Because they're doing pretty good for the time being, but, you know, you can't afford to give up those extra rounds against Order. You need every round you can get, and the round against a half buy like that is one you definitely want to be closing. Unfortunately, Order a little bit too sharp with those Sheriffs and great coordination with the util to push down mid. Like, it's not like they were just aim dueling. Oh, look at this mid-round push into B main. Texter's all over the map.
It's just layered aggression. But at the same time, surely Fun Crew don't expect Texter here. We'll see. It's cleared, but Easy looks at it. How many more can Texter get? The answer's none. Maple at least able to trade for one. Keep the numbers strong now for Order, but Norson straight out of B main, able to answer with another. We got full B-site control for the moment, but still Norson's tucked into the corner in Disco. He's locked him in here.
He wants to pit. He wants to pit so badly, but the KO ult is up. He's in such an awkward scenario trying to buy time. Ronski walking up, checked by Andy though, Mac, and finally gets the pit out.
And that's what he was waiting for. As you bloody mentioned, RDW wanting to find a timing shot with that operator. Disco needs a helping hand, and it's all down to RDW, who can't quite connect in the Viper's pit there. Andy picks up the headshot, and that's the 5th that Fun Crew were looking for, but still Order lead by 1, going into the final round of the half.
Mawson just carrying away, getting bullied into the corner. But
it's a battle of patience, right?
100%. But he got over it, and now into the final round here. Full buy for Fun Crew, 2 of the force ready for Lou. He's been absolutely lights out with that playing nothing but chamber this tournament, and I can't blame him considering the meta. It's a great meta for it. A lot of KOs mixed in, but apart from that, he is man who made gun. And if you got good aim, you want to be playing the man who made gun.
RDW expecting that close knife as well. And still looking to play close with the judge. He hears that L drone coming around and no one's there to break it, so he has to do it himself. They've hurt the judge now, so he'll just TP back to safety. But still needs to get into a position to have some impact with this weapon.
There's a fragment. RDW wanting to push, and there's a beautiful snake bite. Order making mincemeat of this A push map.
And there's that headhunter as well. Fweshist going wide. We do see the Viper Spit start to come out, but Tech to fall. He means that ult's made redundant real damn quick. RDW swinging as well into Lou, standing in the open with the 2 to force. RDW's pulled his own out to end the round with 3, end that half as well. And there you bloody have it. A 2-round lead for Order in a round where it looked a little awkward, but RDW definitely made it work.
Yeah, pretty neck and neck half. But I'm worried because I feel like attacking side of Breeze really it fits Order's style. They got a lot of players who know how to read the mid round, know where to push, and that's exactly the kind of skill set that you need on Breeze. Lurks up elbow, lurks down halls, mid pushes, things like that. These are the kind of things that I expect Order to be able to abuse, but it's not just that makes them great on Breeze. I've seen in the past they have some great set plays on this map as well. They like to mix in there. Bit of a different comp than they used to run on the double initiator. This is definitely a very flexible comp that relies on that fragging and good timings and being able to just have those duelists and the chamber go in off the initiator util. Look at his mid control, KO knife to top mid, dart towards mid doors, and Order's straight up elbow with that toxic orb. The sniper drone into the B site, but Fun Crew looking to fight into B main here.
Yeah, just dropping that snake bite as well to zone them away, not allow the 2-pronged attack to come through, but Disco long range, that ghost is looking real damn good. Maple denying the aggression coming through from Norson, and it's all down to Easy to try to hold here. Swing coming from Broken Wall, and Bronski rather, gonna be cracking heads with the Sheriff. So it's looking very good for Order to convert this into an 8th, but the 2-man flank may catch them all.
Cloudburst allowed them to sneak past the chamber trip. So Order not hard holding this, but RDW is starting to have his spider senses tingling. Knows that the flank in through elbow from mid was definitely a possibility. 3v2 now. One-dimensional retake in through that B main. Just gets absolutely dozed by Ronsky from that tunnel side.
Yeah. Just swung out from Broken Wall. Man's got no fear when he's got that Sheriff on the pistols, does he?
100%. So Fun Crew dropping that pistol, gonna have to take a single save before they go into their first gun round. They're definitely not out of it just yet, but like I said, this isn't the shaky looking Order that we saw in some of the other series earlier on. The Order that I watched against Bunkers and even against Fun Crew in that first series, they're looking a lot better in their series yesterday. They're looking good in their series today as well. No one lagging behind in terms of the fragging power. They're not really making too many kind of boneheaded mistakes that are uncharacteristic for them.
Lou, he's heard this Molly, he's heard this cloud burst, and Ronsky's very interested in opening up that door. Shorty close range means there's a Vandal now in the hands of Andy. Lou as well striking with the headhunter, and things get that much more awkward. Order, they're out on site, but at least RDW's found an answer.
Yeah, Fun Crew need to compose themselves though. No more over-peaking. They've got man advantage. They're starting drone on in. They've got that retake wall from Norson to allow them to come in towards this A site. All of the pieces starting to come together as they're trying to clear out the site. This is a full retake all the way from cave side, the post plant played by Order.
Every bit of util being used now from Fun Crew, so it's Order waiting to play off that recon bolt. The pulse is enough for 1 and brings back that 3-on-3 close range, though Texter with the Spectre is just going to knock them all damn down. Maple, he'll chime in at the end as well, but there it is. 9 on the board, and Order already hunting for a 10th.
Fun Crew back on the buy though. That was just a little bit of an investment. They get themselves an outside shot at winning that round, but great economic damage inflicted, if nothing else. Should usually be the bonus, but actually Order investing a lot into this round. Full Bulldogs, Vandals across the board, so they're really wanting to go for this one. If they drop it, it's going to be a little bit of a hit to their economy, and they haven't quite gotten to the point where they can mix in jet knives or mix in a too to force just yet in terms of the ult economy building up. Order again, just pounding this mid controller, going straight into A.
Wesh just close. He's going to be suppressed for another second, but he's first kill. Molly goes down as well to try to separate the door push from the main push, and Fun Crew just tear them all to pieces from sight.
5 alive, and like I said, that was not the bonus. That was a fair bit invested in that round. Disco 3.5k, Maple 2.2. They have to take a save. That's not too often that you actually see that. Usually you're cutting corners in terms of the economy with the Bulldogs, with the Vandals, when you have one of your duelists or the Chamber who's multi-fragged, and you can chuck jet knives in there or mix in a tour, but that's not an option for Order. They actually just have to take a half buy here and try to take some guns at Fun Crew, because they just won that flawlessly. That was the best possible round for them. Look at their economy, 2+K across the bank. They're feeling great about this half now.
Rotsky again, just so quick down the halls. And that Molly as well, so it's looking like they're going to try what didn't work before again. They've heard the dash out, and Andy, close range, going to win that one against Ronsky. So a key piece of the puzzle already gone. Disco existing in halls is that much of a nuisance, and commenced one with the Sheriff there. So he's going to continue to fight that Molly. Going to send him packing, but he's got another off the back of it. Headhunter as well for RDW. Means this round, which you just wouldn't have given it to Order at all, they're fighting for it. They're a man up now, and they're in some solid post plans to win.
Yeah, Blue trying to isolate those angles. They dance around Yellow from Maple, just trying to buy more and more time so that RDW doesn't really need to do too much, but just sit on his hands in this post plan. And Lou's just thinking about saving. He can't find any of these players. The movement from Maple is absolute perfection right now, not giving him a single angle. And he's just trying to get out of there at this point. Maple even breaks his armor on the way out.
He was just straight up trying to find where RDW was that whole damn time, but RDW was low, tucked away on site, happy to survive. And there you go. So another thrifty coming through in Order.
It's the second half buy that they've won, where Fun Crew looked like if they just won that round semi-cleanly, they would have been in a good position. That was the same story last half, and they've just let it slip through their fingers again. These are the kind of mistakes you can't afford to make against Order. You cannot afford to lose against those half buys and throw away your economic edge.
What do we got here? Order again, high presence over towards the A side of the map. Not as much defense here this time, but Andy already back behind that right pyramid is going to be spotted, but on the line he'll go. One, probably not enough to allow that operator to have that kind of investment. Weck's just going to be tagged up by Recon Bolt. Didn't have the Vandal in hand in time to pop it. And Maple just trying to connect. He will onto 2, but not mop up with any more than that.
Order pit down on the site now. Playing the post plant mostly from Cave. No mid-flank contingencies. Fun Crew now starting to stream into the side. There is a big angle to peek out Cave, and that is covered by Norse's retake Viper Wall.
Spots him before the ball goes up. Easy, getting a bit too big for his boots there, and loses the equal man advantage. So Order now just going to be forced to be tucked away in the corners. Text is still trying to play around the Viper's pit, but he's got that snake bite to buy some extra time. Fwesh just on 1 HP, tucked into the corner, but again, it's all about those lineups. Down to the timing, Fwesh just finds one, but it's not quite enough. A shock start to try to close, and it's zoned Fun Crew away. It's only one Order member remaining, make it zip, but the round is theirs to take. 11 onto the board now.
Yeah, just the power of the decay from the Viper's pit, the snake bites in combination with the shock dart. Shock darting someone who's vulnerable trying to come in for that retake is just so powerful with that Viper Sova combo. Some of the more popular agents, and you've just seen those util combos get more and more popular over time. People get more and more familiar with how to abuse these agents. Very tight round though. It kind of incentivized Fun Crew to reinvest on this round, especially because they've held on to that operator. But Order still with a fair bit of cash on 3 of their players, and RDW is going to be able to mix in this tour de force. Start working mid for a little bit of a pick. Fun Crew with no mid presence to speak of at all, really sticking to the sites. Norson as well as Lou just playing retake middle from that B site. Lou trying to see if anyone's going to walk up from tunnel side or anything like that. In fact, neither of these teams really interested in mid, and look at this mid-round push from Easy. That's so much info for Fun Crew.
Brodsky we picked off on the initial jump into the cloudburst there. Answered by 2 quick ones. Order now with that man advantage, happy just to fall away, regroup, and play the numbers game.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see their mid-round decision-making here because they picked Easy, who pushed all the way through A main. Usually when you know the defending teams push through A main, you know that they've rotated off A little bit more. Norson trying to find out what's going on. They got a man disadvantage. He's trying to take a risk and find some info. Quesha's pushing as well. We'll find Texter, so no smokes, and that's the spike down.
So maybe a chance now. Knife goes through. He'll know that Maple's there. Spike not quite retrieved as well. He's missed that movement barely. RDW missing the shot too. So Quesha needs this helping hand sooner rather than later. He'll pick off another. Bring it back to this 2-on-2. And there's 2 ults to use now for Fun Crew. But we'll see if Andy can stop the cross to sight here.
I don't know how much those ults are really going to be helping them out as opposed to just holding the right angles. Oh, so many trades back and forth. Maple down to 30 HP against the operator with 10 seconds on the clock. He tries to hold the angle, but Andy is playing a hell of a game today. Mac 19 and 14 on the Jet. And that's a big, big round for Fun Crew to win. Took absolutely everything out of him. Might even want to see that operator thrown over to Lou or something like that so you can mix in the jet knives and min-max the economy a little bit more for Fun Crew. But Order are pretty broke after that one, so this is a chance to build the economy. But I say that, how many half buys have Order won? Ronski's got his jet knives. How many big plays have we seen from him with those? Not a round you can take for granted as Fun Crew, this one.
Get out of my way!
Look at that Orbs going straight over towards Heaven with the lineup. Certainly will. And Order going for a faster approach now. But happily just being tagged up by the recon bolt. Ronski flicks back in time. It's going to cost him his life though. Norson now last alive on site, but there's reinforcements rotating straight through CT. Fun Crew, they're going to have numbers here in a moment. Norson finds one of the opposing Viper of Texter. He's happy just to keep on fighting at this close range angle here. Lou goes up on the wall thinking he's got that cover from snipers, but it's cost him his life. Either way, Fun Crew come through with an 8 if they do trade it through.
Hell of a round from Norson. He did just such a perfect job anchoring in the back of the site, buying times for those rotations, choosing the perfect moment to just peek out on those different lines and pick some of those Order players as they came into the site.
Yeah.
That was only the half buy though, and look, Order is really putting them through their paces, man. They're taking guns every single round. They're making these half buys an absolute grind for Fun Crew to put away. Here's this reinvestment from Order, but Fun Crew has got a pretty big advantage in terms of the ult economy at the moment. 5 ults ready to go. Maple
everything.
1 off the Hunter's Fury, and Disco 1 off his KO ult here.
Ooh, Blue. So that cloud burst come out, knew it was a rush again. Order, they're just going for such fast approaches every single time. This time from mid instead of the halls. And Norson's in a very rough position, gets tagged up by the drone, and he could not get back to safer pastures. So, Precious now just trying to buy time for the rest of the rotations. And look how heavy these rotations are as well.
Yeah, Order waiting for the gas, seeing if any more mistakes come out from Fun Crew that they can punish as they try to get comfortable on the site. In comes the Hunter's Fury off the back of that spike tap. Maple going to cancel the plant. That is a beautiful timing from Texter though. Drops his wall and takes Fleshes down.
The numbers, many ults still up for Fun Crew. So we'll see if Lou decides to opt in. Just opt to use Commander instead. Great placement of that recon bolt. Texter gets tagged, but I don't think RDW was. Another comes back the other direction. Maple looking to connect here with the Hunter's Fury. And it's easy falling. He's looking for more. But the distance between him and the 2 remaining Fun Crew members was a bit too much to tag. And Lou, he's just hunting for something, unfortunately. That aggression didn't find any rewards at all. And it's Andy, who's last alive, trying to keep at least 1 gun alive, so there's some kind of economy to play with for Fun Crew in the next.
Yeah, I think they could squeak through a buy here. You can chuck the ult to Lou. Andy can drop a rifle and then he can force knives.
Yeah.
And with 2 players with a little bit more cash, yeah, Lou could even like drop a rifle over and just go light armor or something like that. Very possible to squeeze through a buy here for Fun Crew with some decent util, but the big issue is the fact that not only has Order got that point, but winning that round pretty cleanly means that they built themselves up enough of economy to get a couple of buy rounds in here. So Fun Crew, they've got to win multiple gun rounds to push it back into OT territory, and just not sure if they got enough in the tank to be able to do that. At least they've got that KO ult, can definitely help them out with some of these retakes. But Order now again going back towards this mid control.
Yeah. Ooh, nice recon bolt straight at the top of the satellite there, just to clear out mid and give over that info nice and early. Norson going to be tucked towards the back of sight, but he's got a helping hand in Easy. Both just looking to play this one together. The cloud burst there, and Ronski peeks out, saves the day for his teammate. And it's down to Norson again, who's just waiting for the slow push through that toxic orb. Snakebite there as well, which makes the pick a little easier, but it's trades over towards Macca's, over towards CT, and Fun Crew straight back in it with another shot coming through from Andy. That operator looking invaluable this round.
Yeah, look at Order though. Disco's just caught the audible all the way through middle. Now has this headshot angle to be able to pick Fun Crew. Easy shot on Fleshes with that dot crosshair. And Andy now trying to pick up the pieces. He's popped his Blade Storm. Texter grabbing that orb before he goes out A main. Once he plants, he's going to have his Viper's Pit online, and that's going to make it a much harder retake from Andy to convert.
Yeah. Just min-maxing the ult economy, knowing he had the time to do so. Andy's still just sneaking his way forward, and I say sneak, but he's just going real loud indeed, clearing out the doors, clearing out every angle, every corner that he can. And hoping that he maybe finds a tag, but he called that Text was definitely low.
No charges left.
Definitely tagged up, and he's just going forward, jumping around, trying to stop a little bit of this noise, and Texter just waiting for the swing out the back. He refreshes the knives with the right click, and now maybe a chance. Gets this half tick down with the Cloudburst. Shots coming through from A main, and he's just waiting. The jump off means that he's not on the spike, and the peak does not need to come through. But again, there's that knife. In comes the spam, and it's good. Disco takes Order to 13, and there goes map 1. Breeze in the bag.
Yeah, Fun Crew making it competitive, but it felt like the same kind of story from the game yesterday between Order and Rain. Very, very close game at times. Super competitive. Couple of important swing rounds though. Fun Crew lost way too many to the half buys. They just couldn't keep control of their economy, and it felt like Order, when they were winning gun rounds, they were winning them so much more cleanly. They had like always 3 or 4 players alive, keeping their economy nice and clean, allowed them to just string these gun rounds back to back. And on the attacking side, they eventually kind of hammered them down, like just constant mid splits, time and time again. Ronsky just sending it in, and Fun Crew just couldn't deal with it.
Just so much going on, so much chaos that whole damn game. But again, Order with that very, very quick approach on pretty much every single one of their attacking rounds, slow it down at the mid round, and then, think things through from there. I dare say, look, that's a very effective strategy on Breeze, where the rotations are long, where people, that they were forcing out those defensive rotations pretty much every single round from Fun Crew. It was what they had to do to really survive there and pick up any rounds in that second half. But then look, going over towards Icebox, I feel like it's just going to be a whole different affair. But let's have a look back at what happened this game quick.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of highlights from RDW. He had a great game on the chamber. Andy was pretty invaluable for Fun Crew though. He had a really nice game on the Jet, just showing that once he's back on an agent, he's a little bit more comfortable. He can put in those individual performances, and you saw a little bit more of that from him in the last stage, where he's very much up there in the stats. But this is where you're now going to go on to Icebox, which Fun Crew, I mean, Andy had a bit of a rougher game on that yesterday, and so did Norson, I believe. They definitely need to make sure that there's no inconsistency in the individual performance here, because Order was solid across the board. Every single one of the players just putting in frags across the board, and there was really no weak link.
Yeah, I really felt that way. Like Icebox, it's going to be an interesting time. But look, before we jump on into Icebox, it's time for another break. Ladies and gents, don't go too far. Map 2 coming up just after this.
darkest fears. Mine would eat them alive.
Covering! Chamber, it's on you!
You can tell a person's character by their first action. Check me then, eh?
It's a bullseye. Only type of light that I ever hide from. There's a red and blue lights, I don't sing their song. Where you at, yeah, where you come from?
Blasting up.
Who you wanna become?
You dead?
Move your body, move a leg. Everybody here.
Welcome to gravity.
One to the right, now one to the left. Never stay still. Move again.
We saw the beginning and the continuation. Now, the end. We are above them.
Anything I want, baby, gonna take that. Do what I want, so I'm never leaving. Whole team
Better
with me,
luck
you can never
next
break
life.
that. Protect at all costs, yeah, like a wave cat.
Relax, my friend. Time and space, they know what you think.
It's a bullseye.
However, I've made a grave mistake. I'm eating peanut butter, and I didn't expect it to take so long to eat.
Sometimes it just sticks in your mouth, man. You know,
It really is. I haven't
It
actually.
you think you can just swallow peanut butter, but you can't. Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you.
To the Valorant Oceania tour. We're in the OCE Championships. Obviously, we're in towards the second map of Order and Fun Crew. We just had Order's map pick.
Pain.
They won it pretty convincingly, I would say. What did you think of that game, Mac? You're now the color caster.
Yeah, thanks, host Dilsky. Yeah, that was a great game. Look, agent composition, you always love to see a mirror match, but I'm hoping we're going to get something a bit different from Icebox. We're not going to see the same agents on both sides. What you think we are going to see something different?
Yeah, because yesterday, remember, we watched Fun Crew against Bobo.
Yeah,
And they played that double sentinel, right? They love the Killjoy.
Mm.
Although we've seen Order play a little bit of that in the past, but I think it's my guess that there'll be at least one agent different, maybe even two agents different.
Ooh, I'd love to see a little bit of spice because the change is the spice of life, as they say. Now, Icebox, I definitely see a world today where Order could take this 2-0, but I kind of want it to go to 3, knowing that we just have the one series today. I don't want to get out of here early. I don't want it to be this like 1.5 hour broadcast, right? I want to make sure everyone's entertained, everyone's getting to see high quality Valorant and the best that the region has to offer. We already know that Fun Crew's taken down Order at least one time now, but doing it twice, ooh, that'd be spicy.
It would, and I don't think Order's looking nearly as shaky as they did in that first series. They're looking much more concise, much more well organized, looking like the Order that everyone fears for a reason. They showed that in the series yesterday. It was a much more straightforward win from them against Rain, and that Breeze map was no departure from that at all. It seemed like about the same story once again, about a 13-8 victory. Ooh, no way. We're already going to see a different agent lineup for Fun Crew heading into this one.
Hey.
It's their map pick. Yep, I say Freshest was on that Killjoy and had a great game on it, and Andy was on something or other. What did he play last time? My memory's giving me troubles. He played Sage last time, and he had a not great game on it. So they've actually rejigged the agents. And as for Order, they're straight back onto it and straight into that Killjoy lineup. They love to chuck Disco on towards that Killjoy. Usually has some great performances on that. Just like the performance of a certain Samsung monitor you've been telling me about, Matt.
Exactly, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that one. Valorant OCE, unleash your inner champion with the Samsung Odyssey gaming monitors. Buy a 49-inch Odyssey G9 monitor from Samsung NZ and receive a bonus 27-inch Odyssey G3 monitor or a bonus 1TB 980 Pro NVMe M2 SSD. visit samsung.com/nz/LPL for more Odyssey Gaming Monitor deals. Offer valid until August 16th. Terms and conditions apply.
Here.
Mitch, what were those terms and conditions? Was it to make sure you send in pictures of yourself buying those and tag Samsung and LPL and stuff on Twitter? And
Tag Samsung, tag LPL, follow MacMate _ on Twitter.
Yep.
Hit a dab. Give us a video of you hitting a dab.
Oh, I know there's a few people that love those things.
Any TikTok dances you're fond of? Nah, look, don't worry about it. Order on the attacking side.
Always.
Gonna start making their way through the map. We've got a Fade on Maple. He's been having a great time on the Fade this tournament. He's had a great game against Rain yesterday. Also pushing towards A main, but there's 4 players already here for Fun Crew.
Andy.
Satchel out.
Just going to be hit up by that Prowler and taken right on out by Ronski. Headhunter already finding that value for money.
Great util out from Order, right? That snake bite straight on towards Jenny off the back of the Prowler. They find that first pick. They see that Viper wall already invested across A, and they're happy with that. Hey, we got a kill on A. Now we can chill. Go back towards this A side of the map. Great timing from Lou, though. Picks up Texter before Order can even get comfortable on the side. And even evens up that man disadvantage.
And that is also the wall bloody gone. So at least the Viper wall will be there, but the barrier orb not going to be usable. And the 4-on-4 Order still have Ronski starting to lurk up a storm in through the tube. With the chamber still alive on Lou, that means that he's not going to be able to get in the kitchen unspotted. So decides to go under the tube instead. He has Norson on the offline. Sharp shots, though, keeps him in it. And Order now back to the 3-on-3.
Maple planting bottom side. Fun Crew starting to retake in through Snowman, though, Mac.
Oh, there it is. Frenzy coming through from Fweshist, and now that's going to be the numbers swinging back towards Fun Crew. Easy waiting and just trying to figure out exactly where Maple's gone. This man is sneaky. He's going to be able to find this isolated fight, but Easy's that much sharper with the Ghost now, and RDW has to do it all himself in a 1-on-3. He's got no util to work with other than the gas, and that wall's in the damn way. He has to swing, he has to fight. He's found 2, he has to try to go for the spam, but the time ain't there for him. Fweshist gets the defuse through, sticking it the whole way, and Fun Crew take the pistol.
Yeah, a couple of small details going awry there for Order. Couldn't quite put the pieces back together. The way that they isolated that first pick onto Andy off the Prowler was excellent, though, but they're not letting this one go by the wayside. Force buy on the attacking side. We've seen this a couple of times from Order. Love to risk it for the biscuit in the second round, and they're going to give it another crack here.
Let's see where they opt to go. Fun Crew, very aware that Order love to prioritize this A site. Full faith in Lou to do everything towards B. And Order just taking things slow, making sure there's no one pushed up, no one on these early aggro lines.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye. Obviously, we've got this Viper wall for the assisted retake across A. Flesh just on the offline up top of server side. Could be checked by Ronski. Andy will keep an eye on his paint shells and delay off this plant.
Over the top, Texter spots him. And Fweshist with the force is not going to find any success at all. There is going to be the barrier orb. Texter goes up top, finds one more, but Norson had to get an answer. Now, Easy has some util to use as Norson continues going forward. Aldron's starting to come across, but it's Norson they need to worry about. Man's got a Spectre in hand, and he's looking for this 4th and final kill for himself. Just waiting. There goes the pulse to the recon bolt, and it's enough. Norson, the quad, to put a 2nd on the board for Fun Crew.
Absolutely love to see the big rounds coming out from Norson. I'm a big Norson stan, big Norson sim.
Yeah.
Deals with the force buy with absolute ease. 4K for the man. Gets himself close to that pit as well, heading forward. Now Fun Crew, great opportunity to start building up their economy in the anti-eco here and get themselves off to a beautiful 3-0 lead.
Mid control, Order setting their sights on a different approach now.
Revealing area.
Players coming through, but Easy should spot it at least with that recon bolt. Pulse as well connects, so pretty much all up to Ronski to try to get any damage done here. He's got this headhunter, and he's just trying to find the lines close range though. Norson again going to chunk away, drops the snake bite just to try to stop them from forcing on the long angles. And he might be good. Oh, won't be able to get his gun out in time, and the headhunter finds some value for money. Ronski, 24 HP. And he will TP away to safety.
Yeah, but even with Norson going down there, he gets enough kills, enough ult orbs for his pit. So he can pit straight on in towards that next round. And being able to Viper's Pit in a bonus round can definitely give you a better chance at being able to win the gun round. I'm saying that, but it's looking like Order's just going to win the eco again. Fun Crew are falling apart at the seams against these Sheriffs.
Was Ronsky going to get baited by the ult orb, or do they completely stay silent here? Push coming through mid from the 2 remaining Fun Crew members. We've got Easy just looking to find this contact, but Disco, is he ready? No, tries to pre-aim the long line. And Andy can't stop that cross to sight either. He's heard that deep plant rather coming through. Baronski with the wide swing takes the head right off of Andy's shoulders. So it's all down to Easy with the Spectre.
Yeah, Ronsky has that trademark still available. Chuck that up on the flank if he wants to, but he's going to go over through middle. The bomb's not planted for him, though. There's the Nightfall in from Maple, just wanting to delay him coming in on towards that spike.
Out of charge. I mean, he's got absolutely no audible reactions either. The man's not going to hear anything, but he does spot Ronsky coming across. Now opts to go for the half stick. Maple lets that initial swing, but at least the half tick's there now. Just trying to figure out where the hell is Ronsky gone, but it's right around behind him. Couldn't hear a damn thing, and Maple, we're the one to take all the bacon. And there's that first round coming out for Order.
Another missed opportunity for Fun Crew. They really cannot be affording to lose to Pistols. That wasn't even the half buy or the force or anything. It was literally just handful of classics, Headhunter, and I think 1 Sheriff or 2 Sheriffs. Tack pause out from Order. Gonna have a bit of a chat after winning that round. Do have a fair bit of money still in the tank for Fun Crew. They can continue investing in this next round if that's what they want to be going for, I'd imagine. Probably a full buy, and you're actually going to see these economies kind of normalize pretty early on here, and both teams try to fight for economic control, but
yeah,
a couple of these Fun Crew players a little bit on the poorer side, Andy and Easy in particular. See if they're going to be able to get rifles. Maybe Lou, if he can just squeeze $100 out from somewhere, can drop another rifle. And like I said, Norson in particular will keep an eye on the pit placement for this round from him, because he can really cover a fair bit of the map with his retake wall on one side and maybe the pit somewhere else, or maybe commit them both to the same site and just have Fun Crew kind of lean towards the other side of the map. But Order, they've taken that tack time out, so they're going to be able to have a chat about what Fun Crew is going to be using against them. They're not going to be surprised to see any of these alt positions from Norson. It seems like Fun Crew are going to stack up on the same site that the pit's at, so see how this works for him.
Again, just full faith in Lou doing his thing over towards the B side of things, and there it is.
Ooh, deep wall on mid from Fleshes. So they've got that mid wall, they've got Lou on the yellow line, and exactly like you said, Viper's Pit on this A side of the map.
There's just so much util they need to get past.
How will Order approach clearing out this pit though, is what I'm wondering. They've got no Sova, so can't drone on in.
Well, Andy, as mentioned before, is just sitting right up in the grills of him. Prowler at least gets that early info, and they're going to spam for it too. Molly, a lot of util invested just to get him out of the corner, but that's going to be the numbers advantage, and Ronsky just walks straight through to pluck another. Fweshist now out of the equation, but Norson, he's still here and still kicking, which means the Viper's Pit's up. He's still got some extra util to use if needed, and we're going to see Order really prioritizing just control of the flank now.
Is he going to make it back in the pit in time? The pit goes down, he doesn't make it back in the pit, so Order, they flush him out of that pit. The Prowlers from Maple are just so on point this game, and Norson now in the back of the site, he's got the world on his shoulders.
He's heard Dexter jump off that zip line though, finds one RDW close to trade, and Ronsky finds the lurker. Easy, rotating aggressively through mid. So it's down to Lou again. 1 on 4. It's an angle you don't expect him to win, but he's kicked things off nicely.
Ronsky on that lurk, over through middle, alarm board up close. RDW remembers that he's playing Viper and chucks a wall onto the A site, may as well.
Better late than never. Allows Ronsky to just be out in the open as it goes down, but Lou navigating the round real damn well. Spam starts to come through. He knows someone's back on belt, but didn't expect the swing and tube from Disco. And there you have it. Big round coming through for Order to find 2.
That breaks Fun Crew's money. Nice and early on here. Lou going to have a bit of a think about what he wants to be going for. He's got that 2 to pause online. Order a couple of ults working for him. got that Sage Res, got a pit. They want to invest it in a round like this. But Fun Crew, here's their first half bias. They look to try to build up their economy, but also try to chip away at orders. They cannot allow Order to get these clean rounds that they were getting off in that last game, because they were able to build up so much economy control. You really have to be taking a couple of guns away from Order here early on, or you're making your life so much harder.
Maple just allowing the Prowler to single-handedly clear out all the close lines. And enable just so much control here towards a main wall going up earlier this time for RDW.
Players over here, he's just going to kick things off nicely, but Ronsky up close, seeming like he's going to start cleaning up some of these players with the Sheriffs. Quick scope straight on in there, Res on Maple, and Order up 5-2 now.
Norson stuck on the back of sight, going to be hit with vulnerable to RDW. Coming in from above, and Ronsky wants some more, misses it as Lou, to a force of his own to use close range. Texter wins that engagement. Lou couldn't readjust in time. The off position, off angle, Texter was playing. And Order take the lead. 3-2 here on Icebox.
And it's such a clean round for him as well, Mac. Like, look at their economy now.
Yeah.
Most of the players, 3.5 plus. Ronsky a little poorer because he's investing in the op. Lou on an op of his own, and another buy through from Fun Crew. It's going to take a couple of gun rounds back to back for these guys to crack back into this half. RDW with the pit ready to go. Obviously a player who can have some big plays, and he was having a pretty good game on the Viper earlier this tournament. If you see him in a post plant with that pit up, he's definitely capable for a big play or a clutch if needed.
Disco looking to be the one to lead the charge here. Again, 3-2 split coming through for Fun Crew. Prowlers just gaining so much info.
Yeah, it seems to be their go-to. They're just pressuring this A lobby, chucking that up, getting some Prowlers into the site. Just applying light pressure. They've conditioned Fun Crew to kind of worry about that A site hit coming after that initial contact. Ronsky, though, creeping up on this line, finds easy in middle, and another man advantage for Order. Now they can split the map in half. Viper ball straight down the middle. But Order, they don't need to rush anything here. They're just chilling out, waiting for further mistakes. They're actually going to split A.
Just dropping that wall. Fwesh is not aware that it is just going to push through. He's heard a couple of footsteps coming, but the Prowler as well just is a nuisance. Blocks the line, blocks the crosshair. And now it's all down to Lou here to try to hold on site. Finds a beautiful line. It looked like a collateral angle. Didn't quite connect though. And the 2-on-3, it's just got that much harder because Norton's fallen. Text has fallen off of the bloody balcony. So he'll go down all the way to the grave. And Andy probably not expecting this aggression still coming through from Disco here. He won't clear the angle. Disco lines that up, misses the first shot, picks it on the second, and Order go to the 2-round lead.
Yeah, I think if this continues going the way of Order and seeing the inconsistency from some of the individuals on Fun Crew, I'm really going to start questioning the Icebox pick time and time again. It seems to be their go-to in a lot of these series, but at least in the last 3 months, they have they're like 1-5 on it. And they lost to both Rain and Bobo in this tournament and still picked it into this series against Order. So
yeah,
unless I'm seeing something new up their sleeves off the back of rejigging the agent composition and they start finding some success soon, they're going to be out of this tournament.
Well, in comes the aggressive play, wall up towards Belt, but Order very aware. They've heard it come through. They've seen this trick before, so Haunt goes straight to the top of Belt there. Ronsky picking up another, and this aggression just going to be torn apart. Fun Crew not finding anything just yet. Maple on 56 HP still going forward. The Texter, whoa, he's going to get his head taken off his shoulders. So maybe now a chance for Fun Crew. They've managed to pick 2.
Yeah, no great position to use the Sage Res here. RDW going to retake that spike. Looks like Order still sizing up this A side of the map, and he's playing up close with the Showstopper. Could multi-frag with the Stinger and just ripping the rocket. And Norson holding the middle of the map for the time being.
Close angles cleared, but again, Andy standing with the Stinger at this range, has that fire range, spots the barrel, so he'll be ready and waiting and take 2 more. Ronsky needs to try to save the day all on his own, and the Headhunter on the Zippy.
Oh, he can get the spike.
He's missed the spike before the rendezvous. And now has to try to play some mind games and figure out exactly where Norton's coming from. It's going to come down to the timings. Quickscope, no good. But a chance now. Swaps to the Vandal. But But does he expect the full grab at the back of sight? Norson! There was a world he made that work, but Ronski salvages the round. 4 kills all on his own to put a 5th on for Order. But boy, was that expensive.
Yeah, but we've been talking about it, Mac. They've already had so many clean rounds that it just doesn't matter, man. They just continue to rebuy. Their economy isn't even looking bad. They've still got 5 players with 2.5 plus. Not worrying about that too much, and that's why I say allowing Order to have these clean rounds makes Fun Crew's job grinding into this game 10 times harder. Whole bunch of ults available now, waiting for Andy to rip that showstopper one of these times. Didn't do it last round because he got enough done with the Stinger. Hunter's Fury available for Easy as well. Res for Fleshes, lockdown capable here for Disco, so maybe that Hunter's Fury being held over just to be able to play counter lockdown.
Util already gone. Ult still refreshing.
Swarm grenade out.
Now we're going to see it just allow this entry into elbow. There goes the lockdown, and in comes the hit. Andy needs to get out of dodge, but he's going to miss that blast pack. Couldn't stop the ult from happening, and it was great aggression coming through from Order to stop that pack from hitting. Now, we're going to see RDW as well, just looking to lurk late here at mid, really controlling these rotations, and Fun Crew realize their own financial situation, so they're just trying to get out of dodge. Timing on the peak from RDW couldn't have been better. And that's going to make things that much more costly for Fun Crew, who really need a chance in this first half.
I think it's great. It's obviously great when you get that blast pack onto the lockdown. You're getting a lot of value out of something that doesn't cost very much, but Order playing so heavily around that, you could see it right from the get-go. Kind of almost greedy to just assume that they're not going to play around that. They're playing hyper-aggressive, just forcing those fights onto the A site, not even really relying on the lockdown, and all of those guns taken away from Fun Crew. It's yet another clean round from Order. 4 players surviving, looking clean as hell. They're up 6-2, and I don't know if Fun Crew looks like they've got what it takes to be able to stop them.
Yeah, well, that's it, right? Like the lockdown, as you mentioned, it was literally just a distraction. So the plan not to defend the lockdown, but just to use it as a bit of bait, figure out exactly where they're playing. And once they saw those blast packs attempt to be coming out, they knew exactly where the players were all playing from that A site. So going in to the 9th round now, maybe a chance for Fun Crew again. We'll see if this aggressive play comes through. Andy, he's got the showstopper online, and he's really just trying to get as much info as possible. Paint shells over the top, and it's a big pick coming through from Lou. So a chance now. The picks are there. There's still 4 ults online to play with for Fun Crew.
Dexter going to wall res, get Ronski back online, but this is where Andy rips the showstopper, throws it straight on in there. The Hunter's Fury thrown in as well, but Order are getting trades back in the meanwhile. Norson trying to hold on from main side, just continually swinging. Fleshes fights a pick in the meanwhile over towards middle, and the spike at the back of A main means that Disco must grab that and complete this 1 on 3.
Mate, blink and you'll miss it. Kills coming out left, right, and center all across the map. Good luck, Crash, at catching those ones. Disco, though, you just need to sit on him to see if he can complete the clutch. So, Fun Crew positions. Not close enough to trade at the moment, unless Disco decides to come through mid. But again, as you mentioned, Spike down a while away, 40 on the clock. He needs to make a move towards that if he wants to play the objective. But that wall just used to cross to safety, cross to screens, be that little bit closer to the rest of the team.
Yeah, need that trade potential, right?
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Fun Crew realize that, but no one stops Disco from doing his thing. Drops the bot to try to figure out if anyone's walked into that A site after he leaves to go get this spike. Those footsteps definitely all heard now, and I don't think he's got time to make it to B, so we'll have to go straight back to A here. 14.
He's got time to go anywhere, mate.
It's 8 to plant. He's just left it that little bit too long. I don't think he'll get there. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the round as long as Fun Crew survive.
Yeah. Was kind of concerned he wasn't going back for the spike. Maybe letting the clock get away from him. Maybe he's got the same issue as me. I'm playing max digital vibrance. Sometimes I can't even see when the clock goes red what the time is. I wish there was a way to change it to white. That would be great. End of the day though, Disco timing himself out of the round, still takes 2 players with him, which again keeps the money on Fun Crew. Super horrible. Andy's got to go down to a Guardian. Lou at least has a tour de force, so can kind of min-max the economy that way, but a handful of light shields as well is not feeling like a fun time for Fun Crew, who it feels like they are trying to win gun round after gun round after gun round. It's just never getting easier.
Lou, The nasty line over the top here. Disco, I believe he spotted him. Prowler as well, not going to quite connect, but of course the bot is there. Will reveal his position. The paint shell stops it from happening though. An easy ready for Ronsky lurking straight down the tube. So it's 2 picks favoring Fun Crew straight at the start of the round. Make it a third. Wesh just chimes in. And a 2-on-5. It's so hard from Order for here.
They need this clean round. They just need to lock this down cleanly, not lose any additional guns. Massive play from Indy in middle. Lawson now inside of his pit. Oh. Isolating that fight. Look, Wesh just gets picked in the meanwhile, but at least takes half of RDW's HP away. And Andy, as long as he doesn't get his ahead of himself, feed extra guns, should be all right.
Well, that's it, I believe. You've got Andy here, who did hear the footsteps rotating down deeper into A main. So just sends it back to B as a safety measure. Ping towards long coming through from Order. So maybe we see a lineup of sorts used here in a moment.
30 seconds left.
Going to be popped again. And Andy there towards the back of sight. So we'll see how the timing goes. Andy going deep towards Snowman. And RDW looking like he certainly knows how to thread a needle, but can he pick up this kill? Can he deal with the angle? He can. Now he's got a chance to plant as well as the ult online, so really a chance now. 7 on the clock, and he gets that planted safely. Oh, spam comes through, and Lou just doesn't allow RDW to get off site.
Yeah, thank God for that. That, I mean, 1v3 very possible for this man, but even just more and more guns being taken away is not what Fun Crew is interested in. Who is going to get this defuse? They're having a bit of a chat. Maybe not even about who's taking the defuse, because Easy's the one who's closest to his ult, so...
Looking for an op?
Maybe looking for an op, yeah, could be the case. Don't think there's one on the field anywhere, so... It's taking a bit of time to have a chat, have a bit of a celebrate, pump the boys back up. 3 guns up, definitely going to be helping out their economy. Order well and truly able to buy out the rest of this half, most likely, especially if they're going to chuck that tour in from Ronsky. Oh no, he used that last round. Losing my mind. He's attack timeout for Fun Crew. Gonna have a chat about how to close down these last couple of rounds. Cannot get complacent here. Need to be able to turn around Icebox, or they are going to be out of the tournament. It's felt like these two teams on a very different trajectory this tournament, Mac. Fun Crew, they started off the tournament absolutely lights out, upset Order right off the bat, and Order still looked shaky after that game. They looked shaky against Bonkers, but their game against Rain was super clean yesterday. Their first map of this series was looking great. Their attacking side so far has looked super dominant until these last couple of rounds. But Fun Crew have looked shakier as the tournament's gone on. They did not have a close series at all against Bobo.
Yeah.
So they really need to pick up the slack and get back into that form that they used to upset Order in the first series of this tournament, or they're going to be kissing their chances of APAC LCQ goodbye.
Timeout coming to an end, but still 20 more to decide on what they want to do here. Order again looking like they're going to put some high prio on this A main control. We've seen it almost every single round from them.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen Fun Crew adapt by trying to go a little aggro towards the B side of things. They're just constantly stacking the A site and hoping that it works, right?
I think it's a little harder with the comp that they're running. Maybe you could chuck the Raze up there or something. Usually if you're getting someone on that deep info line, it's going to be the Chamber or the Jet. This is a bit of adaptation though. 4 on that A site, deep wall mid from Fleshes, no one on B. They are really just trying to hard counter this A default from Order. They've got all the personnel over here. If they can't win this round, then I don't know if there's much hope for the Mac.
Mid B doesn't exist right now.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of reminds me of some of the games in Asia sometimes. It feels like you just 5v5 on a site. You know, I feel like some of the OS teams, at least initially, really relied on like, oh, mid-round pushes, I'm going to try to sneak on this lurk timing, and some of the other regions, you see a little bit more of that. I feel like it's less and less so now, but at least some of those earlier games in Asia I was watching, it felt like they would just slowly push into a site.
Yep.
Never cancel, just 5v5 on 8.
Well, Freshest. Oh, dodges the op shot. But again, just drops that slow orb as well. To try to buy some time for these rotations. Send some of the defenders away from A for the moment. Maybe see what's happening over towards mid, but Order
30 seconds left.
Just committing here all the way in through the kitchen. It's Weshest solo here at B, and he's being split upon, so he'll need a helping hand in the moment. Norson starting to come in from mid, clearing out this mid B position. They've heard Ronski dropping all the way out of kitchen, and it's all going to come down to the timings. Maple's found one with a swing in, but again, the time, it's starting to become a factor. Texter trying to get this spike planted. There's cover there, and no one here from Fun Crew to stop it. So Disco, he'll come back through tube just in the nick of time. Easy will survive. Couple of bullets to the back now. Norson's still worried about this flank from mid, but they need to get towards the spike.
Yeah, not sure if Weshest has that wall for retake, but Rezzing Lou on Snowman trying to bring the numbers back in the favor of Fun Crew. All of the picks going their way. It's just RDW 1v4 with one snake bite.
We'll go to the short lane. Norson takes his head right off, and Fun Crew work together to make the retake successful, and there it is, a fifth secured, looking to make this tied up at the half.
Starting to pick up some momentum now. Couple of good little gun rounds coming their way. The retakes looking like they're on point for Fun Crew. It's going to be a grind, no doubt about it. And Order, this is what I was talking about, them being super responsible with their economy. They have never had to save. Just buys on buys on buys. Another full buy heading into this last gun round of the half. Fun Crew an opportunity to mix in and off if they want. Ult's kind of irrelevant in a round like this. Maybe Disco could multi-frag and get a lockdown. Maple's got his Nightfall, but pretty much no one else, unless they get a 3 or 4K, is going to be getting their ult online.
Targets destroyed.
Again, walled in mid from Fleshest. Not dealt with at all by Order. Can't see it through the Toxic Orb that they've got up, at least for this time, but they've started to finally read the positioning of Fun Crew.
Yeah.
Making their way straight towards B. The trademark is going to be reading their position, but it's going to be straight into a 5-on-5 after plan. Keep an eye on some of these mid-lurks from Order and how Fun Crew approach this retake. They just pulled off a cracker of a retake last round. Double nano on the spike as well, Mac, from Order.
Spike planted.
Yep, more open plant this time too. Trying to make it that little bit harder.
And alarm bot on the spike, by the way.
Just everything.
This whole Killjoy setup is on the spike.
Oh. RDW, lucky to be alive there, dodging the shot from Lou over the top of the Snowman, and Ronski, big flank coming through, but he's been heard and dealt with perfectly. That's going to be the numbers that Fun Crew were looking for now. Andy hits himself with a quick blast pack as well, all the way to yellow he goes. Textar ready and waiting, holding down the fort for now. You're not going to see that heal start to come through easy, not going to be able to get anywhere near the spike. The wall is going to be broken, turned around. Order find themselves a 7. And that's going to be 7-5 at the half.
Switching sides.
As soon as Fun Crew went in for that retake, immediate Nightfall from Maple. Andy was the only one, I think, who doesn't get hit by it, blast packing across, and he gets picked on yellow. So there's a two-round lead for Order, looking dominant in that attacking half. Some signs of life from Fun Crew, and they're going to need some more of that because they got to grind back this game the hard way on the attacking side.
Mid again, maybe?
Here.
Yeah, no wall invested, at least early on here.
Yeah.
Got the 80 wall from Order. Across the side of the site, straight up to Texter, just ripping the wall. Nice pick from Maple. Straight through the middle of the wall. Yeah, good defense. Nice dink on the Flashes as well, who pops the heal on himself and barely gets out of dodge.
Maple, he's going to be going straight through the snake bite. Finds the timing. Fwesh just going to be kicking himself, but he at least gets the wall down to slow the flank and funnel all of these Order members back towards the A side of things, who are flooding, stopping the spike from getting a chance to plant, and RDW is going to be forced here to just keep fighting forward. Lou, the headhunter, he's got 2 in the clip, and the man only has 1 remaining, head taken off his shoulders by the opposing chamber. Ronski. There you bloody have it. Big round attempt coming through from Fun Crew, but unfortunately it wasn't enough, and another pistol going in the bag for Order.
Fun Crew probably taking a save here, not feeling like they want to risk it with the force. Whole lot on the line heading into this half, and they're going to have to get it done the hard way. Let's see if they can at least take some guns away from Order. Like I was saying, really cannot afford to be letting them build up economy if possible. Maple's already 4 out of 7 on his Nightfall though, so if he has a multi-frag on this anti-eco, he could get a really, really nice fade ult timing for one of these retakes in the bonus.
Force coming straight up the guts here at A. And Fun Crew looking to fight with a strength in numbers approach. Order though, plenty over here to deal with that. And end up just taking the orb, falling back. I'm looking to maybe play for that orb control towards B2.
Walking around the map, pack of wolves with the classics. Disco trying to look for some info or force a fight in towards main side. Doesn't find too much. Lou gonna cop a heal. Lurk in from Norson on towards this A side of the map while Fun Crew do exactly that, Mac. They do have the barrier orb. They take that B long orb.
Trap destroyed.
And there's the barrier orb into the plant. Monsky gets isolated top side as well, and now the paint shell's available for Anti in the post plant.
Things getting real awkward now for Fun Crew.
You've got double snakebite on Norson too, but look at that instant wall and defuse.
Well, they've got the half tick through. They know that paint shells was there, but Order fired 4 kills within a bloody blink. And now Norson, 2 fight this impact. They're worried about him coming from mid B, but at the same time, Disco stands and delivers. Everyone on Order doing their job on the retake. It looked pretty good for Fun Crew considering the positions, but again, that wall just baited out so much utility, caused all that chaos, and the numbers from Order, well, look, having those extra guns definitely helped out, right?
It's chucked the vertical wall as well, not even the horizontal. There's so many segments that Fun Crew have to break, and breaking the Sage wall with classics is an absolute nightmare. Texter pretty much just shut down before it gets going. I was talking about it though. Maple multi-fragged anti-eco. Now he's got that really quick timing on the fade ult. Really keep an eye on how he's going to be utilizing that this round. Lawson chucking that mid orb. Going to invest his wall towards B side. Aggression up B long from Order though. Denying entry into B long. At least Fun Crew's over here and could start working on that wall nice and early on.
Ronsky goes back for the third shot and will escape. Not too tagged up, so Order now. Haunt gets that extra info, easy force back towards A main, but he was the only one tagged by it, so aggression from Norson here over towards B long, but again, that wall's still standing in the way, and RDW's playing around this wall. He's heard all these footsteps pitter-pattering past him, and Andy, oh, he has no idea. RDW now in the position to succeed, goes for the 2-tap with those bursts. We are going to see the Nightfall invested as well, so we'll see if Easy can navigate how to get back this B-long control. It's just going to be an awkward approach from RDW, but he forgets that other people can exist, so Norson now not going to be able to hear a thing, stands and delivers with at least one, but it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade favoring Fun Crew. 1v3 angle for Disco, and it looks like it's going to be a timed peak 2 swinging, but with 1 HP remaining, this makes it that much harder for Disco. Big wide swing from Easy to lock down the round. Put a 6th on the board here. Fun Crew not allowing Order to run away with the game just yet.
Yeah, great damage from Order though. That was just their bonus. Take a handful of guns away from Fun Crew. Break the armor of Lou as well. Only player who survived with both rifle and armor intact was Easy.
Yeah.
Him and Freshest, as well as Orson, quite close to their ultimates. Disco won off the lockdown, so Fun Crew, if a couple of these players get these key frags or are able to get some orb control, they could definitely get some of these big impact ults heading into this round, and they're going to need them. This is a big swing round. Fun Crew need this round super bad, or Order's going to be in towards this one with double digits early on. And we've got that Viper wall invested over towards the B side of the map from Norson. He throws the mid orb. Lou working that A side of the map with Easy. No pushes from either one of these teams, just waiting out the aggression. Both biding their time. This is a super important round.
This is kind of what started to work for Fun Crew over on Breeze as well, right? Just waiting for that aggression that they know Order love to throw forward. But of course, it's not Breeze, it's Icebox, and Order
Right here.
know that they need to stay a little bit more staggered now.
Double drone in on there. Boombot and the Owl drone going in, clearing out all those close angles. They find Ronsky. Don't tag him up though. He's going to stick around and try to go for a pick.
Boombot going to tag him, but the rendezvous means he's safe and sound for now. Regressing over towards yellow though, as the push still is continuing forward here towards B long. Andy gets slowed up, but he stands, he holds, he hits. And it's looking good now. Fun Crew find that numbers advantage.
Yeah, and Precious, he can barrier orb and then plant, and then he's got his res online. Maple, though, finds Lou rotating off that A site. That's the lurker and the contingency plan gone for Fun Crew, and they're having a tough time getting comfortable on this B site, Mac.
Well, they know Sage is here. They know that Bade's here. The swings come through, and Easy's looking good. Norson another. Texter's still standing, looking to push through that tiny gap and stop the plan from happening. Swinging with the classic. He's done it all himself. 4 in the round, and that's double digits for Order.
Texter, the only player in that round who did not come into it with a rifle. He had Spectre armor, and he was absolutely shitting himself over on B when all of the boys were coming up B long with the rifles. He just bided his time. He waited for all the util to come in there, busts through the attacking side's barrier wall, and just starts doing what you do with a Spectre in this game. Hold the movement keys and start holding mouse 1, and the frags just start coming.
And just play as short of a line as possible, you know? That's exactly what he did. Swung wide, did the same thing with the classic to follow through. And now Fun Crew, not liking what happened towards B, they're going to send it and try their chances at A.
Alrighty. Half buy in on here for Fun Crew. They've got a couple of big ults to be using. Hardy W needs to be careful not to get himself taken out of the equation too early on. Hunter's Fury barely not connecting there for Easy, but look at all of this investment for Fun Crew. They want to win this half buy.
Viper's Pit going to be so annoying to deal with as well.
Look at the lockdown though.
Oh, that's going to tag up 3 at least. They have to get out of dodge quickly. Looks like we are going to see Andy commit to the bit. He'll be detained and surely fall pretty quickly. Man's tucked in the back of the site. Will fall. There it is. And now it's all down to Easy in a 1-on-4 angle with a frenzy, no vision, and no health remaining. That's going to be 4 alive for Order with a very successful retake. And as you mentioned, Fun Crew, they just invested so damn much into that round. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, not in terms of the money, but just in terms of the ultimates. Hunter's Fury, Viper's Pit, these are all big ults that can find some impact, and they tried to invest them in that round to try to make the half buy work for themselves, but they just didn't get any value out of them. 1 off the tour for Lou, 1 off the showstopper for Andy, res available for Texter, 1 off the pit for RDW, a couple of big ults. Very, very close for both of these squads. Order's got a bit of an economic lead, and they're up 11-6. They are very close to closing this game unless Fun Crew can start stringing some rounds together.
Yeah, and we could be seeing yet another 2-0. Making up for what happened to Order earlier on in that upper bracket.
Aggression down B long. Sage res available. They just want one of the other boys to take contact so the Texter can trade and res.
Gets the info that Precious is standing here. 2 is not going to be enough. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade coming through. Ronski swinging with the tiny gap and the wall remaining. Oh, barrier orb not going to stop this man. We'll find even more. There was a quad on the board, but he couldn't quite find it. Easy trades and Texter close to do the same damn thing. That's 12 for Order now, who are 1 round away from taking the whole series.
Yeah, simple but effective. Just pushing in front of the Sage. Good spacing. Trade potential there. Instant res from Texter in combination with the wall. He goes 1-for-1 and creates space for Ronski to just swing out B long and clean up the rest of Fun Crew. Absolutely gorgeous from Order. Texter back on top. He had a rough game on the Sage the other day. Didn't feel like he was really getting himself into it, but he's well and truly back now, and Fun Crew are left reeling. Try to invest into this round. Not a whole lot to play with. They're just going to try to go for the half buy, swing whatever they can together. And showstopper ready here for Andy. Let's see if he can try to make something work with it.
Oh, RDW not going to allow the mid B to come through untouched. 2 found real damn quick. And Lou's going to chime in with the 2 of the force as well. So maybe a chance now, but Ronski stops them in their tracks. And it's all down to Lou to try to save the damn day. They knew exactly where he just was because he got that pick and stopped the flank from happening. But look, there's 2 wrapping in. 1 towards the lower side, 1 on the back of site, and it's Ronski looking that little bit better. 13-6, 2-0. Order survive in the lower bracket, and Fun Crew go home packing.
Yeah, credit to Fun Crew. Really great upset in towards that upper bracket. They did very, very well for themselves, but once they got through that first series, not really looking like they were in the same form. They were able to bring that same level.
Yeah.
But you know, you really can't go past a lot of these players. You look at players like Easy, you look at players like Precious and Norson. These are all players who have pretty consistently been in top 4 teams for quite a while. Lou's been having some great kind of individual performances. Andy had a great season for himself last season of VOT, but unfortunately, when you're running into Order in the lower bracket, these are the guys with APAC in their sights, and they're not going to be going home.
Certainly not. Now, big performance on Icebox. I was potentially expecting a little bit more from Fun Crew there, but look, at the same time, Order definitely feeling like they're finding their feet. Better late than never. They started the tournament shaky, but they're cleaning things up with every single map they play and really just starting to, flourish as they're sending it all the way to the grand final now. So Bobo could be in for a shock tomorrow.
Yeah, it could be the case. Bobo's been in some pretty good form as well, though. They really haven't been tested so much so far in this tournament. I mean, Rain, the initial game in that upper bracket, they had a really, really close game against them. I was saying it earlier in some of the pre-shows yesterday or the day before. That game really could have gone towards Rain, but then when Bobo played Fun Crew, they showed their class. They were really, really strong that series. And Dragon, like you said, his stats are insane this tournament. I think he was like plus 35 in the initial game in the tournament, playing up against Rain. He had another great game in that upper bracket against Fun Crew. So let's see if they can keep on that tear and he can bring that same level of form against Order. But it's going to need to be more than just him. We're going to need to see all the great preparation from Bobo. At least they're going to have got to see a whole lot more film from Order. You know, last season we saw Order play like almost no maps. This season they've had to grind through the lower bracket and play a whole lot more maps.
Look, I heard we've got a picture of Texter. Now let's check in with him and see if we can hear him today, because unfortunately we couldn't yesterday. Talk to me, Matty. Oh, we could hear him. Beautiful. All right. Now, look, do you want to do yesterday's interview first, or do you want to do this one?
I'm down for whatever, boys.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So talk to me about this one. Real clean and good revenge against Fun Crew today.
Yeah, I think the boys came in firing. We've been lacking a bit of inspiration coming back from Thailand. So the best thing that probably happened to us was we lost that initial game to Fun Crew. They gave us a little bit more fire back, and then the game after that, Bonkers challenged us pretty well. So like probably the best out of every team I've seen so far. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll just ask you two questions. The first of all is like seeing some of the role adjustments. I'm seeing like RDW playing like a little bit more controller, and you guys are kind of throwing around a few different things. I know you guys all love to like flex around different roles. Is it more of like a map specific thing, or are you trying to like, have people explore like different play styles, or what's the deal with, chucking RDW on a couple more controllers? And I've seen you on like Breach and stuff like that as well, instead of playing like controller.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to our personalities and like us as players and our strengths and weaknesses. Ultimate goal, we probably want to change the roles around, and we tried that at the start of this tourney against Fun Crew, but we just didn't have enough prac, and like a lot of the mistakes and stuff we're making in game just literally came down to not playing the agents and not having the teamwork and structure that we're used to. So on like Icebox and maps like that, where we can try to suit roles specific to each player where they've got experience on those agents previously. That's what we're trying to head towards for the future. But at the moment, we're sort of like in between stage, as you mentioned. Like some maps, we're able to do it, and then some other maps, it's just a little bit too difficult at the moment because we're not able to get enough practice in us, unfortunately. Like we literally, I think we scrimmed like twice leading into this tournament in 2 weeks.
You're right.
It was a bit of a joke. So every game we play, we're getting more experience and more teamwork back.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, in comparison to the first two series, I think, like, obviously all the teams here are pretty decent and they can all play pretty well on the day. But at least my perception is that Rain was pretty strong and Fun Crew obviously upset. They were in pretty good form. But those weren't the closer series. Like, the closer series were the first ones to start the tournament. Why do you think that was? Because I reckon that, at least my perception was the two teams that you faced after that you just finished off were maybe like the stronger teams for me.
Yeah, I think, as mentioned previously, some of those role changes in that first matchup against Fun Crew sort of shook us up in a couple of rounds. Like, we were losing rounds that we shouldn't lose, as I mentioned before. And then in those other games against more of the structured teams, I think our experience in Asia and just Dick and I's experience just in CS, like, we're able to read a lot of those players a lot more. Like, a lot of the more puggy style players with more individual skill is probably what gives us more problems. Like, more of like the structured approach we're like pretty familiar with, honestly. Like, that's probably the reason why we're in Thailand, or like the Asian teams are like really good at that aggressive style, with those mechanics and set rushes and things like that. I think in Oz, like Fun Crew and those types of teams, they play that style, but they don't have that structure. And that's probably what just separates them from sort of that Asian style. But if they're able to bring in that structure, they'd be like pretty good to verse.
Cool.
All right, cool. And final question. Look, Bobo tomorrow in the grand finals, you get to play best of 5, so all maps there. Are you expecting them to, have your number tomorrow, or are you feeling it now that you've managed to shake off that rust?
I think we're coming in pretty confident. No offense to those boys, but I think individually we're just on a different level. Obviously in that first series against Fun Crew, we were like playing at like 20-30% individually, and we still almost won that series. It was like super close and competitive. So if we just play to our potential, it should be a pretty good series.
Very good. Well, I'll let you go, Matty. Enjoy the W and go get ready for tomorrow. Bye. I'm assuming he waved. Either way, look, let's have a recap of the bracket and see what's going on for the rest of the tourney, what's already happened, what you guys didn't see, what you're going to see. So have a look at this order, get knocked down to the lower bracket, and now making the full bloody fairy tale run past all these teams. Losing that map to Bonkers, almost getting knocked out. That would have been a shake-up as well. And then yesterday we saw him take down Rain. They beat Fun Crew. They got that revenge, and now they're going up against Bobo for the grand final for not only all the bacon, but also that international opportunity. So, look, Fun Crew going out in third. They get a pretty hefty little prize pool there as well. So I'm sure that they're not going to be too unhappy making it this far.
Yeah, for sure. I think, we've seen across the multiple stages this year and even heading into some of last year, there's no coincidence that the same cores of players or the same couple of players seem to do quite well for themselves and seem to get pretty deep in towards a lot of these tournaments. So really that chemistry and sticking together, maybe a couple of player changes in and there for some players who are playing statistically quite well has definitely helped out some of these rosters. But I think Bobo and Order, that's going to be a great game. You've got a core of the boys who have been overseas before in stage 1. I know that they're itching to get back there, but Order obviously being the favorites for the longest time, they want to try to secure themselves a spot. I think that's going to be a great series. I can't wait to watch it tomorrow.
Well, we'll see how all that ages. But look, we're going to be pretty aged the next time you see us cast in Valorant, because I think that's at least 6 months away for now, because the Valorant year, it's real short. It's real short, and the next thing's probably not till January or February. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's one game remaining here for VOT. We're going to have a champion tomorrow. Same time, same place here on the LPL_Valorant channel. We'll see you then for much more action. But for now, stay hydrated, stay safe. Give your friends a kiss, and I'll see you next time.
May be able to bring this back to a 2-on-1. He will. Connection from Panic and another to finish. Not a bad choice, is it? He's cleared out long now, knows where the offensive is going to come from. 2 line up. RDW. You get the sense that this is going to be a real back and forth game. Show stop. The punt has gone deep.
Snow getting on the defuse, the Panic on the protection squad. And he gets both of them through the smoke as well.